So again, we are now APT 314 or dairy industry. So let me just have so I will review the status of Philippine dairy industry kasi malagnapo to wala na human last time. But we are actually under midterm na under cattle and buffalo breeding. I just have sent you your assignment. So later makita niyo sa inyong assignment. So for now, for the status ng okay, so actually we discussed this one already. I-run down ng nako, ha? And we discussed about the status of dairy industry, although di kayo siya klaro. Yan. So it's both cattle. Going back here, this is the introduction. Baby. So this just means that in inventory, we are actually nakalimut na ko, no? So actually, mas daghan di ako cattle, no, by percentage, and followed by Carabao and goats. And also in terms of milk production, mas daghan gyapon o cattle. I-mute na ka, Arjel, ha? Just unmute whenever Carabao and then goat. So gamay jud ang milk production sa goat. And this one, this is just about supply and importation. So I have explained this last time that we have more of cattle, Carabao, and of course the least is goat. And in terms of milk production, the same trend follows. And in terms of volume also mas compared sa 2014 and 2015, so mas in terms sa volumes nag-increase ang 2015 but nag-decrease siya in terms of value kasi siguro nagmahal nagbarato, no? And in terms of importation, mas pinakamadaming country imports. So mas madami tayong in-import from New Zealand. And in terms of export, number 1 ay ang milk and cream, followed by butter and also cheese. And in terms ng volume of export naman, so di kayo siya maklaro, no? Pero I don't know sa inyo hang screen. Okay. So 2015 ni siyang, of course. So nag-decrease siya usually, no, in terms of by country. But also in terms of price, pinakamahal yung ano pinakamahal, Roel, na gatas? Is it cattle, Carabao, or goat?
Carabao, ma'am.
Yes, followed by
Goat, ma'am, and then sa cattle, ma'am.
okay, very good. Pa-answer na yun si Koan, si Roel. So this is just to show you the status of Philippine dairy industry. Very kato kanina is from 2015 pa lang siya, kani 2017 na sa Bureau of Agricultural Statistics, but now it's Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA. So you can see here the number of heads of every dairy cattle, no? And they said it was meron nag-increase daw by 2017, no? And these are the different local milk production, no? Total na siya, no? Up to 21,000 metric tons, na amounting to $14 million. So we have discussed this one last time also in terms of supplying based on the ultra high temperature or UHT. Yun yung ginagamit natin na pang preserve sa gatas, but we are going to discuss in detail how to process milk, no? And because my minor is food science, I also experienced doing the UHT. So madali lang, mura man siyang pabukalan. And although there are also parang mga mura ganig pang water bath ang tawag ang water bath sa iya ha. Pero if you go to commercial production na kailangan jud mo gatong malakihan na mga equipment. So there are 4 main types of dairy farms in the Philippines. No, pwede siyang mga smallholder cooperatives o kaya smallholder producers or commercial farms, and may mga government farms. So yun yung 4 na different types ng dairy farms as of now in the Philippines. And in terms of consumption, they say estimate of 22 kilogram. Ito siya mawala. Which is compared to Thailand na hindi siya maklaro. Iske. Yanda. 26 ang mga Thai, Malaysian 52 kilogram, but oh my god, US mga dagko man sila no 287 kilogram ang ilahang consumption per capita annually, no? So syempre mahilig mo kayo sa milk, no? Even their breakfast is always with milk. And so 102 million daw population in 2015. So therefore nag-increase din ang need for milk. So this data are just to show you about how Filipino families spends, like they say 4,000 daw per year. We spend 4,000 per year for our dairy products. And the prices of fresh milk, which range from 90 to 120. So kamo ba mahilig mo fresh milk o kaya powdered milk? Here.
Yes, ma'am.
Mahilig
Yes,
ka?
ma'am.
Unsa nga fresh milk? Cow's milk?
Ma'am. Lolo. Longgan ko, ma'am.
Yes.
Longgan ko.
Ha? Cow's
Ako
milk.
natilawan, ma'am, kay
Sa tao.
ma'am, kanang sa
Ha? Of course. Nakatilaw naman yun.
tao, sa una.
Carabao?
Yan eh, ma'am. Paano, sa kambing, ma'am?
So, yes. Sa goat, no? And it's really nutritious, although medyo langsa siya, no? So, in trade naman, nag-increase ang export to 13% by volume, but nag-fall daw siya in 2016. So this is just data to show you that how milk trading occurs in terms of exportation. And the importation naman, since of course we really rely, especially in New Zealand and followed by the US ba yun, and Australia in terms of milk products. No, and these are the percent share of total imports. 39%, then followed by US, then followed by Australia, 6%. So we also have skim milk powder, whole milk powder, gina-import sa country. Nakapila mo aning mga milk powder, skim milk. So skim milk siya kasi wala siya fat. And maybe it tastes different. Di na ako ka-remember kasi bata pa Mr. Batang nakaan. So nag-decline din siya by 2017. And liquid milk imports increased slightly daw because of the rising consumption sa mga perhaps food services or restaurants, no? And terms of butter and dairy spread cheese imports from New Zealand. Also, because of the duty-free advantage, wala na kay taxes, so nag-increase ang demand in the middle class. So mostly mga middle class man ta, growing fast food industry, hotel, restaurants, and so on. So we have and also because of the ASEAN, no, Southeast Asian Nation agreement. So we have agreements that we have access for dairy products na 0% na tax. So these are the dairy imports, milk and cream, although from 2017, ganun pa din, milk and cream ang pinaka. So this is just to show you the whole amount, the specific amount. And as you can see, mas daghan pa gyapon ang milk and cream product compared sa butter, cheese, and curd, based on the National Dairy Authority and statistics. And this is just to identify what are skim milk, no? These are recombined sweetened condensed milk or UHT ice cream infant, and yung whole milk powder for UHT milk ice cream and so on. Pare-pareho lang man siya sila. And whey products, no? And cheese curd and liquid milk and cheese. So do we also export? Yes, of course, no, by 26% increase in 2016. So nagtaas po, and that is because of the regional trade within Southeast Asian lang. No? And we are sending to Malaysia 51%, and Thailand 13%, and Sri Lanka 7%. And so we also export processed dairy products such as primarily ganito, ice cream. And so ito yung terms of volume ng ating export. So pinakamadaghan jud ang milk and cream, followed by cheese, then butter. So they just in this portion lang, they try to specify the revision of their reports in terms of water buffalo in cow's milk and fluid milk produced by water buffalo, which is accounted, no, na part na daw sa ilang imports by 2017, amounting to from 170 nag-down siya to 160,000 metric tons. And also nag-lower pa siya from 20 to 18,000 metric tons because of the high price of dairy sa butter fat. So yung local supply of, in terms of policy, ng local fresh milk is being accepted by the Department of Agriculture, but then we still cannot compete with the powdered milk kasi market, kasi usually for babies nata, no, is yung mga mothers stop breastfeeding, so automatic na tayo mag milk powder. So ang fresh milk ginagamit lang actually nato for baking industry, or for if kung dako-dako na ang mga bata, no, or kanang for ice cream and so on. And there are strategy para ma-build up yung dairy industry. They called it herd build up program, which they aim for expanding local dairy production through the importation of dairy animals, even embryos and equipment, and upgrading local animals dairy breeds. Merong mga breeding programs, and also establishment ng mga multiplier farms. So it has been shown, etong programs nila has been shown already in the previous videos in our introduction of the status, no. So yung tawag na Save the Herd, STH, this promotes animal trading, dairy enterprise enhancement, and herd conservation. So yung mga partner or mga beneficiary ng program na ito will receive dairy animal from the National Dairy NDA, National Dairy Authority, which of course obliged na mag-produce. And we also have the second herd infusion, which includes importation of dairy products, diversification sources, and local procurement ng dairy animals. So, kailangan i-solid yun ang kanang local breeds, no? Dili pabayaan. So, that's why katong mga higher breeds na imported breeds na ginamix yun sa mga local breeds. So, that's improved breeding efficiency, para ma-maximize ang reproductive capacity ng dairy animals through artificial insemination or natural bull breeding. No? We also have animal financing. So sana maka-benefit kayo. Tailoring of animal loan programs, dairy business cycle, and identifying new sources of affordable loans. So usually na mga before land banks, no, but also PNB. Palit baka scheme or dairy animal distribution, where nag-distribute po sila dairy animal for specific participants na mag-provide po sa NDA with female dairy animal as payment in kind. So maganda rin siya. And upgrading ng local animals are through artificial insemination using 100% purebred Holstein Friesian semen, and then calves born from upgrading programs i-distribute na po sa new farmers which are interested sa dairy. And breeding multiplier farm operation, engaging in encouraging private-public partnerships. So that's nice, no? Which they currently have 61 dairy multiplier farms. And lastly, bull loan. So pagpapahiram. So and the rest are just livestock and development program achievements nila in 2018. So these are their 10-year livestock dairy development program. So these are just the data to show you of tariff schedule nila. And kasi naagi na siya yung mga taxes and so on. And also marketing, no? And then data here, tables on the production, supply, and demand data. So as from 2016 to 2018, so you have the data here of the total imports, total supply, and other export and consumption as well. So actually, this has been summarized on the previous na pinakita ko ng mga figures. So this is just to show you on the specific amount by data. So I guess that's it. No, mahaba po nito. Ako pa magbanggigoan. So you have here questions, I guess. Ilan ka po? 3 questions only. Kanang respeto lang. So do you have any question regarding the status of our Philippine dairy industry? Maybe. Any question or clarification? So that's about the status. Actually, continuation lang siya. And then after that, we're going to discuss. I just have sent you this one, yung cattle buffalo breeding. Medyo mahaba po din siya, so maybe, but we still have 10 minutes. No, Argel. Argel. Hi, Argel. Natulog na si Argel. Nawala na po si Rowell. Yes, Argel.
Hi, ma'am.
Can you read the economic traits?
Nadugin ako ng mic.
Ha?
Yes, ma'am.
Ano? So anyway,
Unsa ma'am, o dungog ma'am, hinay kay signal.
sige, okay. So these are the economic traits of cattle and buffalo. So we'll be talking about breeds and how to breed this dairy cattle and buffalo. So first and foremost, we should know ano yung mga good qualities pala when we choose cattle and buffalo, no? Mura pud lang ka ng kung mga lalaki man jud mo. So kung manguyab mo, dapat na may criteria for choosing or kamo may manguyab, no? Pwede pud gani babaeng manguyab. So if sugton pud mo sa babae, dapat naapod sila criteria nganong sugton mo nila. So just like for cattle and buffalo, we have economic traits, although because
Ay na ma'am.
Unsa? You said Argel? Yes, Argel.
Ma'am.
Nakita ka na?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
How are you?
Do you have any question?
Wala na ma'am, okay man ma'am.
Okay, so gusto ka ikaw na mo basa?
None ma'am, none so far.
None so far. Okay, so unang criteria is the age at first calving. Of course, when we say calving, yun yung pagbubuntis, no? Or panganganak. So the age in days of the cow or buffalo on the date of first calving. So kailangan, syempre, earlier siya, the better, no? And kasi, syempre, that's the economic trait niya. And yung lactation length or yung days na capable siya mag-milk for calving, no? Hanggang mag-final drying off or matuyo na yung kanyang udder or yung dede niya. Or cessation of milk, which is usually 305 days, no? Or lesser than that. And then lactation yield, in terms naman ng milk. I don't know why nagkatulke akong inom. In milk, in milk yield per kilogram, of course, from the date ng pagbubuntis or panganganak to the date of drying, no? So usually, corrected, 305. So actually, depending on sa breeds, no? So you will see here the differences. Now, dry period naman, if how many days ba siya mag-dry na, wala na gatas mo tulo, no, from the date of calving. So kailangan longer pa ng iyang gatas. How could you do that to your mom? Baby, tagay ba huwag tissue, please? Sorry. So, in continuation, yay, 10 minutes na lang. So, again, dry period is yung matatapos na, no, ang kanyang pag-milking. And we just want na longer, no? But usually it doesn't exceed more than a year ang paggatas sa But once na magbuntis na po na sila, so start na po, no? Pwede na po sila maglapas. And intercalving, thank you, baby. And intercalving period, sorry. Based from the date or one calving to the date of the next calving, no? So halimbawa, pag manganak siya karon sa anak, pila ka days na po na pwede na po siya tirahan, no? Para buntis na sad. So, usually, of course, the shorter the better, no? Padaghanay good. And peak yield, the highest daily yield in kilograms during lactation period, or yung how many days na nagpipik siya, daily yield. And average fat percentage is also very important, no? Kasi depende din sa consumer, no, kung if they want high fat or low fat. Then service period, the interval between calving and subsequent service resulting in conception. So kailangan pag lalaki or bull, kailangan may endurance, no? Kasi para mabuntis jud ang atong cow or buffalo. And breeding efficiency measured as the number of services also and over conception. So kailangan dali ra mabuntis, ha? Kaisa lang, no? Kaisa lang tira buntis dayon. So is that possible? Since kinsa na-experience sa inyo, sa baka, ha, di sa tao. Posible ba na isa lang ka AI, artificial insemination, or isa lang ka shooting matay mag-ingon, na to si wala na sila. Isa lang ka shooting, sige, tiran na lang kayo para Bisaya. Isa lang ka tira, pwede na? Pwede na ba siya? Or dapat usban yun siya? Argel, tingong da diha Argel. Kay not feeling well si Kier. So, based on my experience, Char, not every experience, Argel.
Kaya nga siguro nag-twice or thrice. Posible ma'am, katong first meet gani nila dili pa totally mag-meet ilang mga cells. Kinanglan need siya twice or thrice para sure ang meeting sa cell.
And yeah, that's very good answer, no? But then it's always possible naman, no? Depende po na sa quality sa semen sa bull, no? And also sa receptivity ng ng babae or ng cow, no? So in comparison, thank you Argel, kasi although I know that, but I want to confirm as per experience, no? Kasi wala ka ng experience kaayo na, I mean actual good ba experience on nakita jud ko nga nag-breeding. Ha?
Maliban na lang pag artificial insemination ma'am, kay pwede rin siguro kayo.
Pwede rin kaysa. Yes. Even AI gani, di ba? Gina-schedulean, di ba? Second. No? Until dili siya mabuntis. Or until mabuntis pala. Okay, si Rowell nakabalik na. So, to compare the different local, and we also have exotic, no, like the Jersey and the Friesian. And crossbreed. So, ang magandang talaga. So, ang local kasi medyo siya, behind siya, no? Ang mga local breeds natin, in terms of different characters, I mean criteria, mas siya, weaker compare sa mga crossbreed. Siyempre, kaya nga i-crossbreed siya, no? So, i-crossbreed siya exotic, no? Dili man pwede sige na lang tag-import og mga imported breeds. So, we should So that's why still yung mga exotic or imported breeds, mas po sila mas superior yun sila in terms of criteria. For example lang like age at first calving na pwede na siya magbuntis, no? So dugay kaya ang atong local na variety breed, I mean. And pag ma-crossbreed na siya, 30 months na lang. But the original na breed actually 24 lang, no? And matured na siya by 15 months. And mag-lactation period siya, pinakadugay pa dyan. So, but then, English na sa crossbreed na to. And in terms of dry period, and pwede na siya mabuntisan na pod, no? In just shorter time of period. Less than 18 months of. Kasi ang 18 months, almost 2 years, di ba? But with crossbreed, more or less 1 year na lang, no? Pare-pareho na sa So that's why we do the culling of dairy animals, no? Or the elimination or weeding out of undesirable animals from the herd for reasons of uneconomic, poor production, or very poor reproductive ability with sterility problems and breeding irregularities, very poor conditions, stunted growth, suffering from incurable illness or disease, animals found to be positive for serious infectious diseases, like tuberculosis, Jones disease, brucellosis. So we will be also talking each of these diseases in the end part. Lost 1 or more quarters of their teeth, that's very important. And of course, you know what are teeth of the under due to chronic mastitis. So mastitis is the other diseases and resulting in market reduction in milk production, of course, since we are talking about dairy animals. So sa mga animals, no, kung infertile sila or baog, dapat ihawon na lang sila. May na lang sa tao kaya dili pa ihawon ang mga baog. Undesirable breed characters also present in young animal is also due for culling, no? I'm not really culling, but how do they do that, no? When the herd is a very pure herd na ma-disqualify siya family line, so exhibiting mga characters like what? Supernumerary teeth, mga undesirable teeth, loose horns in cows and certain breeds. So dili na siya, i-breeding na. And disabled animals, no? So ihawon na lang na siya. Lameness, dili na fractured, ikal na lang siya. And so mag-list down ka o ikal nimo. So there are methods of culling them. We have tandem method. So selective breeding na siya, wherein breeder addresses the characteristic of the animal at a site. Select lang niya ang animals that merong above a certain threshold for that particular trait while keeping other traits constant. Oh, that's genetic, no? Hindi na ko siya ma-imagine. Once, by the way, less than a minute na lang pa, and so if ma-cut off siya, just go back to the link. It would be our last 45 minutes. So bear with me. And so once that the level of the quality, the single trait is achieved, the breeder will focus on the second trait and cull based on the quality. No? And with this method, merong minimum level of quality set for important characteristic that the breeder wishes to remain constant. And the breeder will focus on one particular trait without losing quality of the other. So it involves entirely genetic manipulation talaga kasi katong specific